The 2025 Chinese Grand Prix was mid. Now don't get me wrong, I love the Chinese Grand Prix. In fact, I would go as far to say that turn 14 could be one of the best corners in F1. And I know some of you might think this is a hot take, but it has produced some of the best overtakes and moments in F1. Plus, this turn is the origin of the Max Verstappen dive bomb.
Fuck him.
Aside from turn 14 though, the Shanghai circuit has produced some of the most iconic moments in F1 history. For example, that one time Lewis Hamilton flushed his rookie title down the toilet. Or that other time a car lost its front two wheels. Point being, whilst it may not have been the best race, we still love the Chinese Grand Prix. I know you guys are going to cook something up next year. I'm just exaggerating though, the race weekend wasn't that bad, plus a lot of you seem to like the Australia race rundown video. Therefore, I'm going to do the exact same thing for the Chinese Grand Prix, meaning I'll cover everything from both qualifying sessions, the sprint race and the main race, and also the things that happened after the race, like people getting disqualified. Yeah. And if some areas interest you more than others, feel free to use the timestamps down below. Also, this is only my second week at the grind, meaning I don't have a lot of subscribers just now, so you get bonus social credit if you like and subscribe. Thank you. And with that out of the way, let's get right into practice. It was interesting this week. There was only one session. You guys know the drill. 3:30 AM practice? I don't think so. Now I know I said this last week, but nothing happened, seriously. Albon went off, he decided he wanted to pave a new road, so good for him I guess. Oh, then he found something between his legs.
There's something loose around my pedals.
In the spirit of paving new roads, Liam Lawson copied Alex Albon and decided he needed a career change and did the exact same thing.
Liam Lawson was another to find the stones. His off-piste adventure taken on the exit of turn 3.
He wasn't the only one with trouble though. This Ferrari spun, this Ferrari drifted, plus this Ferrari fan had I don't even know what that is. Oh, and then Jack Doohan had a PTSD episode. He thought his race engineer was a drill sergeant.
I have an issue. No power steering. Power switched off. Let me know your instructions.
But that's all I got for practice. It got more interesting in qualifying though, more specifically the sprint qualifying. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it real. I prefer this form of qualifying to the normal one because something is always going on, whereas in the other form, there's about 5 business days between hot laps. And God knows what they do with this spare time. They'll probably be playing Fortnite. You get the idea, I've got beef with everything except the race. Anyhow, here are some of my top picks for Q1. Firstly, Ocon slipped up, so he didn't get through to Q2. If you ask me though, this is Max Verstappen getting revenge for the Interlagos incident that saw Max being taken out of the race after Ocon tried to unlap himself when he was behind Max. Safe to say they're still not fond of each other. Another top pick of mine was Liam Lawson qualifying 20th in a Red Bull. And I'm not going to yap about Red Bull now because, well, they have something special coming their way at the end of the video. But that's all for Q1. The Alpines were out, Ocon was out, Hulkenberg was out, Lawson was out. Oh, and sorry, I mean Robert Kubica. Okay, so Q2 wasn't as good, so I'm going to keep it brief. My highlight was Lance Stroll was flying. I don't know if Lawrence bought him an iPad or something, but whatever he did, keep it up. What can I say? Lance Stroll dominance with ball fans. But that's that. Alonso, Behrman, Sainz, Bortoleto, and Hadjar all didn't make it out of Q2. And then in Q3, Hamilton put his car in provisional pole and no one could catch him. Piastri came close, but he failed. Norris went into the pits, I don't know why, and then Verstappen got on the front row alongside Lewis to start the grid for tomorrow's sprint. On that topic, now I'm going to talk about the first sprint race of the 2025 season. Now I know I said the same thing in Australia, but still, I have no idea how these two did not touch each other in the first corner. They were so close. I thought they were going to recreate a Silverstone incident.
Just turned in on me.
But no, we didn't get that whatsoever. Everyone was really well behaved and there was no serious crashes. But this is also why I describe the weekend as mid, because eventually the leaders just pulled away and a big DRS train was formed. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the sprint's horrible. There are some great overtaking moments just like this. I'm not a D1 sprint hater like Max is.
So much fun. I get so excited by having a sprint again. I'm all for it.
My only issue with the sprint race this weekend was it was mainly just watching Liam Lawson overtake people the same way every lap. The race didn't last forever though. Lewis then came to take the checkered flag to win for Ferrari, which was really good to see after their recent
incident.
Then the top 3 pulled up to the podium. Lewis got out of his car, he hit an emote, and then he had a few words to say.
I really do feel a lot of people underestimated the steep climb it is to get into a new team. The amount of critics and people I've heard yapping a lot.
Yeah, don't worry Lewis, I would never do that. I've got your back. But that was more or less the entire sprint race, except for the back markers having an incident on the last lap. Therefore, the first sprint resulted in Lewis, followed by Piastri, then Max. With that out of the way, up next we've got the qualifying for Sunday's race. Okay, so I'm going to breeze through Q1. Basically, Jack Doohan saw his drill sergeant again, so he got scared and turned around and blocked the track. And then at the end of Q1, Liam Lawson set his lap and he came dead last, all the way down in 20th.
Do we have a little Liam problem here?
I mean, it's been a tough day in the office for him today, so, we'll have a good look at it.
Holy, he is painful to listen to. The guy's the CEO of empty-worded LinkedIn posts. The only thing we're going to be having a look at, Christian, is your Google Drive folder. I can't even say Red Bull yap over yet. Sorry, guys. With that, out in Q1 was Gasly, Behrman, Doohan, Bortoleto, and Lawson. And here's some of my top picks for Q2. So Lance Stroll got bullied by his race engineer, so rumor has it Lawrence Stroll's going to buy him another team.
Hey, watch for Stroll. Sorry, you are Stroll. Watch for Norris.
I'm extremely angry.
This wasn't just Aston Martin though. Mercedes had a pretty similar mess up.
Yeah, I lost a lot last corner.
Yeah, copy that, Lewis.
Oh, and King Baldwin was spotted in the Haas garage, but that was all we got for Q2. Ocon didn't get through, Hülkenberg didn't get through, Alonso didn't get through, nor did Stroll, and also Sainz did not get through. Now it's time for Q3 though. Big up Hajar and Tsunoda getting your tractors into Q3. Good job. What else? Oh, there was a fire in the distance. The commentators didn't know what it was.
I don't know what's on fire in the distance there, Martin.
Don't worry, Crofty. I know what it is. It's Liam Lawson's career. Anyway, Piastri then went on pole and no one really came that close to him. The Ferraris didn't have as much pace as the day before. Russell did split the McLarens though, but he kept the pole position, so good job.
So how do you win this race tomorrow?
If they all retire in front of me?
No, we know you better than that. You don't need them to retire.
I do.
Okay, and now it's time for the main event, the race. It was a very clean start, but within a few corners, it was already a McLaren 1-2. The only other thing to happen on lap 1 was Gabriel Bortoleto had a little bit of a slip, but he was fine, and he kept going. Then Lawrence Stroll remembered the only way that his son can beat Alonso is by sabotaging his car.
Here he comes.
Okay, jokes aside, he had a mechanical problem, so he had to retire on lap 4. Then later in the race, Esteban Ocon, this guy, I don't know what he was doing, he became a leaf blower. Then McLaren bottled their pit stop, and somehow Norris came out behind Lance Stroll. Sorry, I don't mean somehow. Stroll's the new GOAT of F1. And anyone who says, oh, he lost a position 5 turns later, here's what I got to say to you.
You are fake news.
Behrman also completed his Italian Duolingo lesson, so that made me pretty happy.
Ciao.
In fact, the guy's already on a 2-day streak.
Ciao.
Okay, on a more serious note, I think after Ollie crashed the car in Australia, Duo took him hostage, so he had to learn a language in the meantime. Oh, then Tsunoda's car completely broke out of nowhere. I don't know why they didn't just use duct tape like they did in Azerbaijan. That always works. The last thing to really happen was Max overtaking Charles, and that was more or less it until the checkered flag. In saying that, I know you Norris fans are sweating about his brake failure, but I couldn't care less. Piastri was taking the checkered flag. I will forever cherish hearing the national anthem again, so good job, mate. That is exactly what you needed to do today. This gave us the top 3 of Piastri, Norris, and Russell. Also, you gotta work on your emotes, bro. You look like a Tuscan Raider. But that was the Chinese Grand Prix. I guess it wasn't that mint. But now the moment you've all been waiting for, the Disaster Class Award. And no, it does not go to Lawson. Congratulations, Helmut Marko. This guy needs to shut up and take a step away from F1. Putting a guy in the car for 2 race weekends and then axing him is not how you improve the teammate. Like, I know I've been critical to Liam Lawson, but you can't expect him to perform after you put him in a car that seemingly no one else has been able to drive since Daniel Ricciardo. In fact, I'd argue that the person who should be axed is you. I don't want to hear any more of your bad takes and shitty tier lists. You need to get into a retirement home and start enjoying the golden years of your life. Okay, Helmut Marko yap over. The only other thing I gotta say is I have no idea why this sport is so fast paced. Since the time I started making this video, 3 people have been disqualified and Liam Lawson had already lost his seat. That is crazy.
No, brother. I appreciate you. This sounds like a new opportunity.
Anyway, with that, the race weekend gets a light 5 out of 10. It was good, but it wasn't exceptional. Thanks for sticking around and I hope you enjoyed. See you next week.
Thank you. Cheers.
I'm the greatest of all time. Yeah, undisputed.